them to all of those Muslims and all of those Christians. God be praised and praise God. How are you? How was your Saturday today? It was good, I hope. I hope you had some justice in it. I mean, it's hard to get in the American government, being, the Constitution and the judicial system and the legislation is broken. But, I did my podcast today and, like I said, go to anchor.fm/MICHAEL/vertical J/DEAN, the number one. And you can get me, or just go to Spotify podcasters and look me up as Michael J. Dean. I, have a podcast. I'm just really just resting myself a little bit because, I'm relaxing my extremities because, become an older man, you get a little kink here and there, so you got to rest yourself. You know what I mean? But I try to talk to you as real as possible. White people want me to be on here being fake and phony, doing their bidding. Well, they were in here doing their bidding on my time. And you use my media for extortion, but you used to. You can't do it now. There's repercussions. You got legal repercussions, and then you got other not so legal repercussions. And we don't like to really, be abrasive about anything. I try to, be straightforward about it. People, they don't know how to keep their hands off of other people's property. I mean, when it comes down to really doing things like they do, so you got to do them the same way they do you. But, I talked, on the podcast about a lot of things. Why do Pennsylvania let New York and California and all these other cities come in our city and punk our people? I'm out and about, and, relaxing, listening to the natives. But the point I'm saying is, why do we let people punk our people that come in from out of state? And why do our girls always fall for the guys from out of town and don't stick with the guys from in town? Because when they're all gone, you got to look at us. And you showed us that you were favoring them while they were here. Now, if we would have did that with, some of the females, you would have been scorned. You'd have been like, you faded me for them bitches from out of town. That's the first thing you would have said. And you would have, ostracized us guys for being dogs and all that because we, didn't favor you and we favored the out-of-town women. But you guys can, favor the out-of-town men and go on with them and be fake and everything like that. The thing about it is you'll never get out of that shit. You'll never work no deals, Obama. You're a dead man walking in this because you're in the old world order. You, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, you played out, man. You played the game too long. You know what I'm saying? That Molly game you playing, you went past the time. That was maybe a good year or 5 year at the most. But I say a good year if I would have been trying to stop you. But see, I didn't stop you because I let you own the crime, Obama. See, you're all owning the crime right now. You're owning the crime too, YouTube. As long as you stick in that extortion with the government, you're owning the crime with them. Anybody that's in there with them is owning the crime because you decided to stick with something that they murdered somebody to keep. So as long as you're trying to, be evasive, Ed Gaines, I'm just naming people, Kim Hoots. You got to keep it real. You murdered to keep this. You murdered my mother to keep this, Kim Hoots. You murdered my mother to keep this, Joe Smalls. You murdered my mother to keep this, Ed Gaines. You are murderers. The chief of police in Wilkinsburg is a murderer. And the mayor, because you allowed her to be accosted in a place that she owned and she didn't have no rent issues. And you caught in my mother's legacy as Mabel Gray. And that's the one that I had the complaint with down at the Common Pleas every time you were sending those letters through the mail, which was postal fraud every time through the mail saying Mabel. Isn't that right, Sarah Morrison? Joe Small's extortionist attorney. Those are murderous, extortionist letters that you sent to me to my mother, because my mother is Mable. And I stressed that in my complaints that I filed with the courts of common pleas, my criminal complaints against Joe Smalls, against you, Hoots, the mayor, everybody, all the parties involved. Ed Gaines, Adam, everybody that let my mother slip through the cracks and get murdered, because you all caught in there with the Mabel game that you're playing, and my mother is Mable. So what are you doing to my mother's legacy with Mabel? The one that I said that was extorting my mother and murdering my mother. You see, this is an easy investigation because it wasn't easy as far as the time span, but it was easy as far as catching you now. For the last 3 years, I've been making complaints about the common pleas, sending those fraudulent letters to the house, misspelling my mother's name for extortion. And you turn around and have that deal in there caught with it as the murders of my mother. You can't say you're not the murderers of my mother now. Isn't that right, Biden? Obama, Hillary, Nancy, Trump, the speakers in Congress, and Muslim, supposed to be family members in Congress, senators or representatives, and black women in there who let a black woman get accosted. And we have 2 justices are black, 1 man and 1 woman. He doesn't like to be, called black when the blacks say it, but the whites said he's okay with it. Because he don't want us to think that we're going to get any favor from him because we black. We should, because you would get favor from us. See, it goes both ways. You understand? Clarence Thomas. It goes both ways. You shunned the black woman because the simple fact you wanted that job. But what did you actually do in that job, in that position? You fought off them trying to overturn Roe against Wade. That's about the only thing I see that the justices really did over the years is something like that. You haven't really done any civil rights or anything like that. For anybody's case. When's the last time a case came before you since the extortion started with Jay-Z? Seems that, you guys, when you started that, you forgot all about doing your justice work. You know why? Because you have no constitution, no judicial system, and no legislation. So that's the reason why you decided to go and finish doing your crime work, because you were on the side of the crime, and that's the way you wanted to be. You wanted to stay on that side because it was easy to extort me with Obama's plan. Everybody in there steal my identity, being me, having me out there making the money while you're in here saying you're me. Clarence, that's a huge identity theft for a justice. And the sister that just got appointed, you were just a puppet. They needed to do something to look good. That's what Biden needed to do. You're not really making a difference for anybody black because you're in there white. You're not talking to me. You're not saying anything that I'm trying to be interested about in government. What have you done for the black people? You haven't done anything for the black people, Clarence, since you've been in there. You shunned a black woman, a beautiful black woman, for the woman you got now, because you wouldn't have gotten the post if you would have kept the black dark woman. Obama, he barely made it in office because he had a dark woman. But he was half black, so he finagled his way in. Clarence Thomas, you're all black, so you wouldn't have been able to pull it off. You think you're smarter than me, but I just showed you weren't. Because you're arrogant. And that's how I beat you, with your arrogant ego. So you thought you had me beat, and I had you beat. You were in my extortion, Clarence. You're in my extortion now. The extortion you call yourself having is mine. We always keep our eyes on you, because we can overthrow this government if we want to. But that's not what we want to do, Clarence. That's not what I want to do. I was trying to keep the president in shape, but you see, Putin has him by the tail. Beijing, Syria, Afghanistan, North Vietnamese, Communist China, and Moscow. Those people are puppeteering his ass. And you know it. And you're allowing it. If J. Edgar Hoover was alive, you know he would be in shackles and chains right now as being a treasonous person that against the government, and so would Trump. And so would all of you, because you took the bad deal that broke the Constitution, the judicial system, and the legislation when you took the Jay-Z deal. You should have took my deal. I would have had you clean. You see how clean I stay? You could have been that way too. I'm dirty when it comes to fighting, but I'm clean when it comes to being right. Everything I say comes true. You should know that by now. I mean, I know your future in shackles, and the sister too, and the Muslims, and the other sisters in Congress, and it's the Senate. Kamala, same thing. You know, Obama once said that he was the son of Satan to his pastor, and his pastor had to preach demonic when he first got in office. But he got his pastor in trouble because a lot of the people in the government, they were listening to what his pastor was saying, and they said, you know, your pastor sounds demonic. But this is the demon. This was the demons. It was the demons. It's not the demons now. It was the demons when he was in office. It hasn't been changed, you know, until my mother passed in 2021, and she asked me to change it. After she died, she came to me. So that's the reason why I'm on this campaign of the angels. And you know, Art Rooney and all of you are in here doing the demon for the last 3 years. So we know you're evil. See, when you see my evil is the malevolency of God. You know, he's good and he's evil. Benevolency is the most beautiful God you can ever see and ever experience. You want him to stay like that all the time, but he can't, because he has to chastise his flock. And in order to chastise his flocks, he can't bring you peaches and cream. He got to bring you a foot in the ass. Oh, kick up the keister. And the only way he can do that is be malevolent, evil. He can't come at you with his good side, because he would do something good for you when you don't deserve it. Like now, you're looking for something good, Clarence, and looking for love in all the wrong places for good. But did you ever look at the person inside, Clarence? Justice, sister? Did you ever look at the person inside? Did you ever do me any good? Did you do my mother some good? That's why you're not getting any good. You have to do unto others as they do unto you, brothers, sisters. Or you won't get no good back. You'll get what you put out. You got all this bad coming back from the world. And I'm telling you now, if you don't change this, you're going to get wiped out, buddy. Because we got so much intel on you, man, that you can't do a damn thing. Your government is choked out, as far as you know, with that Jim Crow. You got to get rid of that. You got to clean your house, brother. You got to drain the swamp. And you got to get rid of that speaker, that Klansman. In the Trump era, the extreme, you got to get rid of that. Those two things you got to get out of the government, brother. How could you sit up in the government and know that's there and you sit back and you don't do nothing? And you say, you are justice. Please. You got everything in front of your face looking at it wrong about black people, brother. And you sitting up there, sitting back, extorting, running the country into the ground with no constitution and no legislation and no judicial system, sister justice. How do you feel about your black people being in there being white just to survive? Did you really thought the Illuminati was going to kill me out? Wow. You really underestimate me. Did you really thought the Irish families was going to kill me out? The Irish mob. You wanted me to come in there so you could all just kill me out. Well, Islam's pretty big. ISIS is pretty big. The Taliban is pretty big. Although you have some of my family members in Guantanamo, you're going to have to let them out. You know that. You're going to have to let El Chapo out too. You're going to have to let me out of this bullshit too. Because we all got you under lock and key in trouble. As long as you put that red band on my Google to say that you wanted me to buy $1.99 space, we got you. Because we holding you too. See? You can't do nothing to us. We can't do anything to you worse. We're extremists. But see, some people choose to do violence, like you guys and Dr. Dre, like going and killing the dignitary in the consulate that came for peace, and you blamed it on Saudi. That was a lie. It was Dr. Dre. The rogue Dr. Dre in your killing unit in the government. I'm a killer, I know. I designed killing. That's why I know you killed my mother. You understand? You can sit up there and you can fake and you can phony all you want. But we're scrutinizing the fuck out of you out here. And we have something called the Burn Notice Leverage Crime Unit that deters extortion and hate. And we predatorially extort you on a seizure level. We're going to take everything back that you took. You're not getting out of this. You're staying in Lebanon. Until you kick up all that money, you're depriving the swinging dicks out here their just due. You did it before. You robbed me before with those women because you got your extortionist whores working for the government. I know a lot of them. And that's all you do is put the women out there to try to get your extortion through sex and everything. They were doing it on their own. Why are they cutting you anything, Art Rooney? Why are they cutting you anything, Biden? You just absorbed everything in the communities. And you're running the crime in the government. That's my job, to pimp the women. I'm the pimp, not the trick. Dr. Dre is the trick because he always got to extort. I don't. I do business. I know how to do it in a proper way, but I know how to extort too. When you don't obey, when you're wrong. We got you, man. You can act like you got your braveness all you want, Clarence Thomas, but I'm not going to even call you brother. I'm going to call you the other. And sister, I'm going to call you the other too, because you're in there being white and you're being silent. See, your silence is your guilt. And you guys are law people. Right now, you should be running your mouth. Now, you might not have to run your mouth about anything that's going to be incriminating to you, but you shouldn't be silent right now. And your silence is your guilt. Because you did my mother with the silent rape victim treatment. Shh. Be quiet. We're fucking you. Don't say nothing. Bitch, I beat on pans and pots with big metal spoons, motherfucker. Just to let you know, I ain't shutting up for nothing. My freedom and my blackness and my history of our people falling for your bullshit that you're doing now, selling out, looking like a pathetic black man in there trying to be so politically correct. I almost didn't get it out. Politically correct, because political is bullshit. Politically correct for the crackers. What the fuck are you doing for your black man? You're killing it, motherfucker. Because you're in there being white like a pansy ass, little punk ass motherfucker that's scared of some white people. You try to growl. I see you try to come in my media and you absorb my media. I seen your ugly mug and I took it and I worked it, but I took it for myself. Don't think I don't know anything, brother. And oh, I'm sorry, the other. I'm sorry for calling you brother because you don't like that. You don't like black. You don't like to be nothing like black. You just like Obama. You know, he was in college and his college fans, his college colleagues, but why don't you come to the rallies for the black people, you know, and support us? I wouldn't know what to do. I wasn't raised around black people. So what, pansy motherfucker? Come and support the blacks. I'm tired of all these punk ass excuses of Obama's. But he seemed to be in my life trying to know everything. And that's why I make a fool out of you, a fool out of your extortionists like Hoots, Ed Gaines, Chief of Police. They're all black. The mayor, Wilkinsburg. The mayor, Ed Gaines, is mayor of Pittsburgh. Every time your colleagues in extortion try to say you know me, I always make a fool out of you. You don't know a damn thing, brother. And I call you that lightly because you're the other, like Clarence Thomas. You hate your people, man. You hate your black side. Obama, you hate your father for being African because you're killing out all the black. Even your wife, when you killed my mother, you killed out the black. You understand? For your interracial. And that's why you put everybody into that white Jim Crow. They said to beat me, but you didn't have to beat me. All you had to do was do business with me. And we could have all been a happy family together, moving together as a unit. But you, in your arrogance, Clarence, I mean, Anita Hill, I mean, that was a piece of niceness there. A nice piece of chocolate you had, brother. I wouldn't have gave it away. I know you regret it. Because I damn sure would. She was a fine woman, man. And I would have never compromised. I would have said, fuck that job. Keep it. It wouldn't have amounted to, what are you actually doing in there for black people? Okay, forget black people because you hate black people. What are you actually doing in there for people? I mean, you embraced the black girl because she assimilated to your whiteness in there. You just needed another person to look black, but they really are white. It's just like how you paid the small business black people here. You knew that Biden was going to get in office and he was signing for the trillion. And he was going to give all the white small business the contracts to fix up the supposedly infrastructure. But you tricked the white, you tricked the black to be white so they won't have no minority competition. The blacks were so stupid they didn't even see it coming. You tricked them to be white so you can trick them out of bidding against you, being minority. They would have had huge contracts, minority contracts. They would have had to give you, this is the same thing that I say about the natives. I would have went over there, being a Navajo, and fought, and then on top of that, helped you decipher or undecipher the literature so the Germans can not know where your positioning is. I wouldn't have did shit until they would have gave me my land back. See, I'm a hard bargain, motherfucker. I look at, oh, what the fuck is my losses here? I want them back. My black is gone, goddammit, and I'm mad. My native is gone too, and I'm mad than the motherfucker. And you killed my mother? Oh, man, it's on. John Wick, motherfucker. My dog, there was a dog killed. He was in the back of my house in the back. Hoots' nephew killed him. I don't give a fuck right now, man. I'm burning you, man. I'm tired of you, man. And then you kill my mother? Oh, it's John Wick, baby. John Wick on your motherfucking ass. I've been waiting for Hoots for a long time. And I just let my guard down and let you think you had me. And when your nephew moved in next door, I told him. And I told the people after that this is my mother's house. And you know, this right here, Joe, I extorted him out of the whole damn thing. I had to. There was no constitution, no legislation, and no judicious to take him to court because I went to the court for my mother, and look what happened to her. You murdered her. You see what I'm saying? So where was you at, brother? The other brother, Clarence Thomas, where was you at? Where was you at for me, man, when the moratorium was coming around and doing the black people like they were, and over on the East End, the man went through the same thing, and the landlord supposedly said he didn't pay no rent that owned the house, and the man was saying he owns the house, and he shot the man down dead in front of his kids. What the fuck was the moratorium landlord doing with a gun? He came near to kill him. And the sheriff's department called themselves doing an investigation again because Carolyn Burton, she works for the sheriff's department. And she said she was going to do an investigation, and she didn't do shit. She let my mother slip through the cracks and get murdered. So they did an investigation on the man, and they found that conveniently, the landlord who murdered the woman's husband, he gets off. Murdered him in front of me. Excuse me. Murdered him in front of his kids, man. In front of his kids, goddammit. You're letting people, I told Biden, here in Pennsylvania, these whites are getting away with murder, man. And if you don't burn these people, man, I'm going to burn you. Because you're going to be right along with them, Thomas. Because you knew too. And you're part of the government, man. You better clean this goddamn shit up in your house, man, and get this judicial system and legislation and Constitution fixed, brother. That's the other. Because you can't roll being no justice, man. How the fuck you think you can roll without any laws, man? Fuck's wrong with you? You can't arrest nobody. You can't prosecute nobody. You can't charge nobody. You can't convict anybody. And as a matter of fact, the people that you have done that to over the last 43 years, other brother, you got to let them out. Guantanamo, that's in that 43 years. El Chapo, that's in that 43 years. And Robert Bowers, that's in that 43 years. You hate that you made a big wrong like that you got to clean up a big error like that and eat shit. You hate eating shit, don't you? And I keep you eating it because you keep me eating it, motherfucker. With them goddamn lies saying you me in there. I'm burning you now, motherfucker. This is freedom of speech. If Michael Savage can come on and say what he can say, I'm going to say what I can say. And if YouTube try to do anything, they're going to be just like Facebook and all the rest of them getting sued like a motherfucker because Muslims do have a right to speak, brother. That's the other. And you understand, sister Muslims in there? Where you at? Where you at, sisters? I don't see you. I don't see you speaking up for Muslims, do you? No, you don't speak up for Muslims either. And even the sisters that's in there that's black, where you at? On your knees in them chambers. On your back. Both of y'all. Y'all in there fucking all of them white boys. Yeah, I see you. You know I'm psychic. I know what you do. Just like they cracking them little kids and them interns in there too. And you're paying the mothers and fathers big extortion so it don't hit the fan. It's freaky dudes in there. All types of freaky dudes, like little boys, like little girls, them interns. They be looking good too, don't they? Especially the little girls. But, you know, there's men that like men. Obama, Ed Gaines, Art Rooney. Little boys. Thank heaven for little boys. Little boys that play with other little boys. Ever since he signed that homosexual lesbian bill, our heterosexual rights got canned. I haven't got any respect since. But gays, they walk right in front of me, man. Lesbians walk right in front of me and get the doors open and red carpet because of Obama. And I can't stand his fucking guts for it. Because he took the power from real men. Because he's a pussy ass man. Any man that wants to anal you all the time in your ass and you got a woman that got good vagina is gay. Yeah, Obama, you think I don't know nothing about you, bro? Well, I tell you what, I know this, that you got the gay guy fired in Chicago. They ostracized him because you asked him to do that stupid shit against Trump. And he got caught. So now you got to compensate him for that loss of that money. But you don't have my money no more to play with. So now he's going to ostracize you. Because he has extortion now because he doesn't get that funding from me no more. He shouldn't be getting it from me. He should be getting it from you. You should be giving him the money. Look, man, if you're going to pay, if you're going to get the booty and you're going to get the ass and you're going to get all of that, I'm not paying for all that, man. I ain't getting no ass. I don't want no booty. You're a sick motherfucker, man. You know that. I got to tell you about yourself, brother. And you are the other, just like the other brother and the sister. Because you ain't doing nothing for blacks. What the fuck are you doing but for black, but waiting for me to come in there and kill me with the whites? You're pathetic. No guts, motherfucker. Spineless. Jellyfish ass motherfuckers. Malcolm X would be ashamed of you, even though you're not Muslim, you don't care. But I'll say this, Martin Luther would be ashamed of you. Is that more better? Because at least he had guts, man. He gave up his life for this fucking piece of shit ass country, blacks. And this is the thanks you giving? You're in there being white, selling me out as a black because these crackers paid you my money to do so? Where's the revolution at, motherfucker? Huh? Punk ass motherfucking country, man. You blacks ain't shit. Martin Luther, I know Malcolm's ashamed of you. You Muslims, he's ashamed of you in there. Those Muslim women, he's ashamed of you in there. Because you're in there fucking them white men and doing what they say, dropping on your knees and your back. You black women too. This is freedom of speech. Take it with a grain of salt, brothers, sisters. If you let Michael Savage talk that shit he's talking, well, I guess I can talk my shit I'm talking. You understand? Any platform. I see people come on YouTube and say some bullshit. They talked about Puffy and how Biggie got killed so damn much. Why didn't y'all save his ass if you know that much? That's what his mama said. All his friends around, and my son end up dead. And he's supposed to be his friends. That's what I say. All these families and friends around, and my mama end up dead, and everybody else's mama's still alive. And I'm supposed to have family, friends, and girls. The girls, it takes a special woman to stand up with a man in danger. There ain't no ride or die chicks. That's just a record. A record that bitches made to try to sing tough, but they some punk motherfuckers because didn't none of them ride with me. They died with the cracker boy because I'm burning his ass and I'm burning your ass right now too for being a punk ass bitch. You should not be so damn evil. When people, I say, give me a little act of kindness will take you a long way, Clarence Thomas. What the fuck you do? You come in here still hating. Oh, man, man, you just showed me that you're a stupid motherfucker. You know, as a matter of fact, you're not stupid. You're smart. You're just a greedy black man. That's what you are. And you took the greedy black deal to kill me off for those prices they gave you when I could have made you way more money, brother, with my bandwidth deal. Twice the money, motherfucker, than what you getting now. You getting a lot now. Just think, that's how much money I make, motherfucker. Now give me the money. I got to talk to you like that because Dr. Dre ain't talking to you nice. I'm damn sure not going to talk to you nice. You bitches and hoes to me because you're bitches and hoes to him. And you took him and you didn't pick me. So you're going to listen to my fucking bitches and hoes. You're going to listen to that because I know Dr. Dre's calling your bitches and hoes in there too. I did respect you until I seen you picked him. Just because of extortion? Who extorts better than me? That's something you don't go around telling everybody. You keep that shit under wraps. You won't have no friends. Like you don't. You got acquaintances. Isn't that right, Glennie? You don't have friends. If you're fucking those dudes, you're real stupid. Ain't no love in there, girl. I told you your love is out here with me. I'm the only love that's going to really love you. And I told Lenita that. Them dudes lust you. They don't love you. If you crack them legs open, they're going to get it. And anything else. But me, you know, you pretty much had to drag me to the bedroom because I'm waiting for you. And you know I ain't lying to you, Lenita. You know that. But the point I'm trying to make is, where's my black at? Where my ride or die bitches at? You died. Being white, taking the price. They got you to do that so you can sell out your black on all the small business loans, all the small things, all the business that they have to give you being black. Are you dumb? You're in there getting the money white when you could be getting the money black. They don't want that. They want to keep the money in the white community, Clarence. And you went along with it because you said you don't give a fuck about the blacks. That's the reason why you don't fuck with them. That's the reason why we don't fuck with you. We know we only got no help from you. And I know I don't have no help from the sister because you proved that. And I know I don't have no help from the Muslim sisters in there because they proved that. What have you done for me lately besides accost me and murder my mother? And take everything in extortion from both of us. What have you done for the black lately, brother? Nothing. But murder. I'm calling you a murder too, Thomas, because you know. Sister, you know too. Muslims, you know too. And you still trying to play the same game. And this is a new world order. When I shut it down and I started it back, I did your job. But are you shutting down and starting back? No. See? See who's legal? My copyrights, I can stand on them legal. You stomped them on the legal side before this shit even happened back in 1996. So my copyrights is what I stand on legal. And anybody on me, the Muslims, just helping me fight, the lawyers, everybody just suing. We got legal platform. We got a legal platform. My copyrights are the legal platform. That's what I'm standing on. What you standing on, Clarence? Nothing. No constitution, no legislation, and no judicial system, brother. What have you done for black lately, brother? What have you done for minority lately, brother? It's not just white in there. You think them whites was going to conquer with that Jim Crow? I had Hillary. Hillary didn't have me. I had Nancy, and Nancy didn't have me. Where's the Illuminati at? I don't think they're looming, huh? They're not looming around right now. There's a lot of Muslims in here. A lot of extremists, radical Muslims in here. Ex-ISIS and Taliban Muslims in here that are the holy disciples of the Lord Allah, God. now. So you can't put that stigma on them and put it on there and keep it anymore. You got to take it off because this is the new world order and you're in the old played out Trump extreme and Hillary Jim Crow order. That shit's gone, bruh. I'm marking that shit. I'm tired of you selling out, being a punk motherfucker. And you got the sisters doing the same thing because they follow the money. The pussy follow the money and the power. Well, I got the power and I'm going to get the money. So what? Can I get the honey? Well, we put that on hold because really right now, I want the money. I don't give a fuck about the honey because they want me to. Besides, I got my own little friends that you call yourself extorting. Those extortion networks you got in, you in now? We're in them. I see everything you're doing, Clarence. You don't have no new extortion. We just make you think you do. So we can keep eye on you motherfuckers. You think you got something in there, but you don't have anything. Every time you make another one, that's premeditated. And I said that in my complaint about my mother's murder. You keep premeditatedly murdering my mother and you get caught. You got caught in my mother's legacy. So you can't say you didn't murder anybody. See, that's what you get for following Biden and Obama. Obama, he doesn't know anything about crime. The only thing he knows about crime is what Jay-Z told him about, or Dr. Dre. But mainly Jay-Z, that's his sidekick and his butt-fucking buddy. Literally. He has a few of those. I mean, some guys got the fetish for a lot of Greeks have the fetish for the booty. Even when they're with a woman, they want the booty. You got all that gushy. And you want the booty? Booty? That's weird. How could you compare the feelings? I don't get these guys. These are some pussy ass panty wearing motherfuckers. You want some booty? Come on, man. Listen, God said Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, or Eve and Eva. You've been what you have been doing is you've been helping Lucifer. Lucifer will do anything to mock God and shame God. And I'm not trying to tell you gays that you can't have your rights. You can do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. But keep your little Brokeback Mountain shit away from me. The point I'm trying to tell you is with God, you shaming God for Lucifer because he wants you to be a person that mocks him. And who are you to tell God that he made you a man and you're going to tell God, no, I should be a woman? That's an arrogant ass motherfucker right there. Bruce Jenner found that out. He wants to be a woman. He wanted to be a woman, but he wants to be a man again because Bruce Jenner, he used to bang the women and throw them over the corner. Now he's the woman getting banged, throw it over the corner. You don't like that. So you should have thought about that before you change your sex, man. God, Lucifer can confuse you, dog. Lucifer was in you. And it made you feel like I'm woman. No, you're not. You're a whole ass man. Get a grip on that. You should have studied your psychiatric training that they give you. You should have stayed in that a little bit more. That way you would have really known, I want to be a man. You want to be what God gave you now, but you lost it. I seen the procedure on the sex, on the penis, the way they just butcher it, man. Oh my God. So I know what you went through. As far as, I don't know what you went through as far as the feeling, but as far as me seeing the procedure, oh man, they showed it on Facebook one time. And I was cringing, man, and closing my legs, man. So I know Bruce really has a problem right now with that. And it's going to take a tough doctor to rebuild that, man, because they cut yours away and made a vagina out of it. How can you? The point is, it's your life. But the point is, you mocked God. So who are you to say that when he made you a man, that you should be a woman? God is the creator. He decides on what you should be. And when he made you a man or made you a woman, you should have stayed in your place. Now, the gays that didn't have the sex change, and they just want to, if they was just, playing around with it or experimenting with it, God will probably waive that. But you are committing yourself saying you want to be a woman and you're a man, and you want to be a man and you're a woman. God doesn't like that because he made you what he made you. Now, if you want to experiment sexually and have sexual encounters with the opposite sex, with the same sex, the Romans did it, but they didn't go around cutting off their penises and doing all that. That's just a way for the surgeons to really make money off of you, give you some boobs and shit. Then you still got a whacker down there. You know what I mean? At least you still got yours. You didn't get foolish and you could get it hacked off. The fuck, man? Where are the real men at these days? And where are the real women at? Because what I see now is the men are after men and the women are after the women. Because of Obama. When I look at, what's that? Used to be the WB, but it's CM now. When I look at them shows like South Central, South Central, and I look at the shows like, Black Lightning, where's all this lesbian and gay shit coming from, man, and the superhero shit? Kids are watching that, man. Why do you have to influence the kids so young, man? You got females on there slobbing down each other's throat. Back in the 60s and the 50s, they wouldn't, the 40s, Fathers Knows Best and all of them, they wouldn't even sleep in the same bed on the show. They would show you the mother and the father and getting in separate beds. And if they did be in the same beds, they would be pretty much pajama dressed, not butt ass naked. How much are we going to show the kids? You're influencing the kids, Obama, to be gay. That's another thing you're doing, man. You're killing out society, straight heterosexual people, because you have all of that gay and lesbian influence going. That Brokeback Mountain shit. I'm not knocking you guys for being what you want to be, but keep that goddamn shit to yourself, man. I don't want my kids seeing that. If I did that, that's the reason why I ain't have no kids yet raising them in this society, man. It's so fucked up. When are we going to act like civilized human beings and act like people that's straight people? Heterosexuals. The women is after the women and the men is after men because you signed that fucking bill. And you're encouraging everybody to be lesbian and gay because your lesbian and gay brigade, they're out there, be gay. The gays, they get the money. The straight people don't get it. You're killing us, man. We got to stop you, Obama. Between you killing out the racists for your interracial, the white race is seeing their people deplete. They've been seeing their people deplete since the 70s. And I didn't understand them when they said that, because I used to say, well, Dad, you just being hateful because blacks and whites want to be together. But I started looking, when I got in my older age, like now, I started looking at the whites and start understanding Robert Bowers a lot more better, especially with them goddamn Jews. I'm not even mad at him. It might sound harsh, but if he did it, I'm going to say if he did it because I wasn't there. Allegedly, he did it. I'm not even mad at him. After they put that Ross Perlman on my door, I wanted to do it. And my mother got murdered because of them saying Ross Perlman. One thing I know about Jews, Bernie, is that when you all didn't have anything to do with anything, you voiced your opinion. And when I said something to the Jew community here in Squirrel Hill and Peduto, they let that shit go on quiet ears, and their silence was their guilt that they were involved with the murder with my mother. Because one thing I know about you, Bernie, your people, If Jews didn't have anything to do with it and you thought you were threatened, you didn't think you was threatened by me. But what do you think now, Bernie? That's why you always be careful about who you fuck, Bernie. Because I like you, man. For some reason, I made a mistake when I didn't vote for you. And I voted for that witch. It was a wasted vote. I apologize about that. Because you were the better man and you would have won probably with those extra votes. I wouldn't have minded you being in there. I mean, I like bagels. You know, the raisin ones and the egg bagels. Cream cheese, a little jam on it. You know, Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam. But I don't have a problem with Jews. I have a problem with Jews' ways. I don't have a problem with racist Aryans. I have a problem with their ways. Can you dig it? I mean, you march with Martin. You know, you don't need Hoppy to tell you what can you dig it means. That means, you know, are you with it? Can you understand? But I'm trying to tell you, Bernie, I like you, man. I really do. For some reason, God's telling me to like you. But listen, you got to put a harness on this extortion, man. It's killing your government, and it got you looking bad, man. You got to clean house, man, and you got to get these people out of here. These people like Obama he should be impeached 3 times. I know he's not in office, but I'm telling you the reason why. So he can never come around the government again. And Hillary, same way, because she brought the Jim Crow there. Impeach her from being senator, anything. Impeachment don't always have to be on the president. Nancy, same thing. Trump, the same thing. And I think you pretty much got it wrapped up in there with Biden. I was trying to keep him in the clear, but he just wouldn't burn Pittsburgh. All he had to do was just burn Pittsburgh and get me out of this shit and get me the money in the state, because the state owes me, the city owes me, and you guys owe me about $200 million a year over that. Over $200 million a year that you got every year. Every one of you, you know, you had your prices. The government, man, you guys owe me so much money, man. And then, you know, I'm Native Cherokee, so that's twice. And then Muslim, that's a whole nother thing, because you violated Muslims and you're going to be sued by Muslims. So I think you better start paying something, man. You can't always take in money. You're in your Bernie. No, come on, man. I'm going to talk to you as a Jewish man with respect, because I like you. And I know you're a shrewd individual, but I like you. I'm a shrewd motherfucker too. And all I'm saying to you, man, is to get this right, man. So you Muslims, so your Jews can get in the clear. Because this Cohen here, he fucked me and he got extortion from me and got the information from me about my mother and wouldn't cut him a deal with UPMC. So you know them Cohens, man. There's so many of them Cohens. You know they're Grammy. You know that. So all I'm asking you is to help me get this along. They owe me money here at the UPMC. The UPMC owes me for 43 years. Art Rooney owes me for 43 years. Ed Gaines owed me for 43 years. Kim Hoots, all of it, 43 years. But the main people, the NAACP and Art Rooney and the Common Pleas and the NAACP, especially them, they extracted a lot of money from me for Hollywood. That's the reason why they murdered my mother. For Hollywood, to have a script on something being wrong and me doing something crazy and that type of bullshit there. I know killing, dog. But all I'm asking you is to help a Muslim, and a Muslim will help you. I don't want to be enemies to your family, but right now we are. Because your family is shrewd. And what's Seinfeld? How does Seinfeld get $950 million, almost $1 billion? Where did he get that? Mr. Eastwood's only worth $225 million. That's one movie for him. Back in the day, with franchising and everything like that, that was a disgrace. And Mr. Cosby's only worth $400 million, and Seinfeld's worth $950. Now, the show Seinfeld was okay with his cast. He wasn't that funny. How did he get $950 million? Because he's a Jew. He's a Jew. And I'm owning Hollywood right now. Mr. Eastwood, you want me to come in there. You want me to run that shit because you sunk a lot of my money in Hollywood. Why is you trying to stay broke? You need the real money, not the extortion money. That's not from the cash register. You need your money coming from the cash register. That's the reason why you're all out there broke as hell. Because you won't let it come to those cash registers because the people, the Jews, they got the money directed through extortion. And they control the extortion out there. You understand? You need to listen to me, Mr. Eastwood. And plus, you got kids that's extorting very rapid. Wow, man. Those fees are huge. And you say there's your kids and you'll do it. But 225 million, Mr. Eastwood, come on, man. Back in the day, you would make that in one Dirty Harry movie. You know, I know you wasn't really splurging with a lot of pussy all like that and drugs. You didn't seem like you were a druggy man, except for when you muled for the Mexicans and in that movie. You were really muling. Hey, man, you know I know. I ain't even mad at you, man. Did you bring me some good shit back? You took the money down and bring it back. Hey, look, man, I don't care. It's marijuana, Mary J. It's not the coca. And you did bring some of that too. But anyway, I don't care, but I do care because El Chapo got cut out on it. And he had the best coke. The government did him just like they did Noriega. When Noriega stopped you from coming through the Panama Canal for free, and you had to pay something, you had to find something grimy on a motherfucker to get him out the way. You's a grimy motherfucking country, man. But we got something on you now. We got a whole lot on you. And this is your time to go through the ringer on the washing machine. You know them old washing machines where they got that ringing thing where you twist it and it's supposed to wring out all the water in your clothes, but it leaves them wrinkled in them. It leaves them wrinkled in the motherfucker. But you're going to the ringer. You're going to be ostracized like Noriega. That's the only reason why what you did was you was buying coke from him and you was getting coke from him and had extortion deals, and he had really good coke. Because Panama, they got good coke too. They didn't cut their shit either. Mexico only did that because they just try to get every fucking nickel. You know, I mean, damn, man, you got plenty of that shit. You know why you got to be like that? So they can get some for themselves, you know. So then when you see Noriega did that, you said that he was just selling coke. You didn't mention the part that you was in business with him selling coke and bringing it to America. You didn't mention that part. But you said he was selling coke and he was a big coke dealer, and you arrested him and extorted him out of everything in Panama and got people set up for that coke. But they took over that and didn't give you shit because they didn't like what you did to Noriega. Then you found El Chapo. Cut a deal with him. He had coke coming to America. You all was comfortable with that. You had the best coke. Then when Dr. Dre came in the picture, he fucked that deal because he had that babysitting job deal with Mexico and they wanted everything. So they wanted the coke too and the marijuana, and they wanted to cut out El Chapo. So you set him up, Dr. Dre, at the border talking about he cut off some heads. That's a damn lie. Out of all of his years of being in the business, he never really had to kill anybody because he paid them well. He had lots of money. He had loyal people. I'm one of them, but I wasn't there at that particular time. But I'm one of his loyal, soldiers. Because I don't want Mr. Guzman to lose his respect. But I'm much more than that. But I'm helping a friend, so I'm one of his soldiers right now. Qu'ran. And you fucked a lot of people, man, Dr. Dre. Trying to be a big wag. That big shot shit got you fucked right now. And it got the government fucked too. You did a lot of murders, man, across the globe, brother. You went into Ukraine, did a lot of shit. And then you went to the consulate and you murdered my brother, the podcaster. And you put it on Saudi. Why would he go there in a peace deal and then go kill the man? That's not his style. He would have just said, no, I don't want to meet with you, and just went on and did something. He wouldn't have went and made a peace deal and then make himself look obvious. You set him up, motherfucker. I know your greasy ass. And the government did too, because you wanted to leverage on him even more than what you had. You's a grimy motherfucker, man. We got to burn you, Dr. Dre. And we got to make sure your daughter don't never have no more kids. I ain't saying doing nothing to your daughter, but we gonna make sure she don't have no reproduction on nothing, man, because we don't want no more you coming out of nothing. You're an abomination, man. Now, do it seems like I know what the fuck I'm doing in this motherfucker? And it seems like Dr. Dre can extort more than me? No. Because I have more intel than him. I have more intel than the government. I have a lot of intel on the government. And I know you want to kill me, but there's a lot of people want to kill you too. Even the ones in there pretending to be your friends with you. You know you cannot see it through without someone being with you. So you try to keep yourself in line with somebody so you can get yourself through. But you can't. And you turn the women this way, that way, this way. But if I tell you, Justice, you better get control of that. Because if you don't speak to me now, don't come to me later when you're broke. Because I'm going to break the women too. Because you broke the swinging dicks out here. This is swinging dick money. This is men's money. And we won't have no pussies in there working for the government, extorting our money. Now, you girls, I'll get to y'all. I'm talking about the men. The panty-wearing men in there. Pussy-ass motherfuckers that's taken from rural men out here. We're not going to have that, man. And you're not going to hide behind the women and take our money. Biden, get them panties off, man. Give your wife back her panties. Start being a man. You would have been included, you know, if you would have just did me right from the dough. You understand what I'm trying to say to you, brother? You've been made. You're had, cops. So you can't come in here playing no game saying anything is yours. You can't say you're me. That's identity theft on a huge scale for 43 years. A massive scale. Epic. You can't say that. Everybody knows you're not shit. So why are you in there trying to say you are? Keep your ass in that jar. And they won't hate you by far, but you never know because you don't like to do people right. You just like to keep hating day and night. Why be around people like that? That's a miserable government. Take heed from the bleed because I'm bleeding truth and spirituality to you. Just like you nailed the nails in Jesus' hands and feet. Stigmata. I bleed. Assalamu alaikum.